Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Old Quarter $U.S.A. In today's video, we will explore 3 interesting and historic quarter dollar coins from the United States. These coins are part of the famous 50 State Quarters program issued by the United States Mint, a program that celebrated the history and identity of each American state through unique coin designs. Top 1. The 1967 Washington Quarter from the United States is an interesting and historically important coin that reflects a unique period in American coinage history. This quarter belongs to the long-running Washington Quarter series, which first began in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of the birth of George Washington, the first president of the United States. The Washington Quarter replaced the earlier standing Liberty Quarter, and its design quickly became one of the most recognized coin designs in the country. By 1967, the coin was already widely used in everyday commerce, but this particular year is special because the United States government temporarily removed mint marks from all circulating coins due to a nationwide coin shortage. Because of this policy, the 1967 quarter does not carry a mint mark, even though it was produced at multiple U.S. mints. The obverse front of the 1967 quarter features the famous portrait of George Washington, facing left. This design was created by sculptor John Flanagan, whose artwork was selected through a national competition held in the early 1930s. Above Washington's head appears the word Liberty, representing one of the core ideals of the United States. Below the portrait, you can see the date 1967, while the phrase, "In God We Trust," is written to the left of Washington's neck. The design reflects classical style and balance, inspired partly by a bust of Washington created by French sculptor Jean-Antoine Rodin in the 18th century. This portrait has remained largely unchanged for decades, making the Washington Quarter one of the longest-running coin designs in American history. The reverse, back, of the coin features a powerful American symbol, a heraldic eagle with its wings spread wide. The eagle holds a bundle of arrows in its claws, representing strength and readiness to defend the nation, while olive branches below symbolize peace. Above the eagle appears the national motto, E Pluribus Unum, meaning, out of many one, reflecting the unity of the states that make up the United States. Surrounding the eagle are the inscriptions, United States of America, and quarter dollar. The reverse design was also created by John Flanagan, and it remained on the coin until 1998, when the United States introduced the 50 State Quarters program, starting in 1999. Another important aspect of the 1967 Washington Quarter is its metal composition. Before 1965, U.S. quarters were made of 90% silver and 10% copper. But due to rising silver prices and coin shortages, the United States Mint changed the composition of quarters beginning in 1965. The 1967 quarter is therefore made from a copper-nickel-clad composition, consisting of outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. This new composition made coins cheaper to produce and allowed the government to mint larger quantities for circulation. The coin has a diameter of 24.3 millimeters, a weight of about 5.67 grams, and a reeded edge, which are standard features for modern U.S. quarters. The mintage of the 1967 quarter was extremely high because of the coin shortage in the United States during the mid-1960s. The United States Mint produced approximately 1.5 billion quarters in 1967, making it one of the most common quarters in circulation. Because mint marks were removed between 1965 and 1967, collectors cannot determine which specific mint facility produced each coin. This policy was introduced to discourage collectors from hoarding coins from particular mints, which officials believed was worsening the national coin shortage at the time. For coin collectors, The 1967 Washington Quarter is usually considered a common coin, especially in circulated condition. Most examples are worth about 25 cents to a few dollars, depending on condition. However, coins in uncirculated or mint state condition can be worth more, especially if they show strong luster and minimal wear. Occasionally, collectors also look for error coins, such as double dies, off-center strikes, or other minting mistakes, which can increase a coin's value significantly. Even though it is not rare, the 1967 quarter remains an important collectible because it represents a transitional era in U.S. coinage when silver coins disappeared from everyday circulation. Historically, the 1967 Washington Quarter tells the story of a changing economic period in the United States. Rising metal prices, increasing demand for coins, and the modernization of the minting process all influenced the coin's design and production. It reflects how the government adapted to economic challenges while maintaining familiar national symbols like George Washington and the American eagle. Today, this coin remains a small but meaningful piece of American history, connecting collectors and history enthusiasts to the economic and cultural changes of the 1960s. For many collectors around the world, including those who study U.S. coins on YouTube and educational channels, the 1967 Washington Quarter is a reminder that even common coins can carry fascinating stories about a nation's past. Next, top 2. The coin shown in the image is a 1999 D-Mint mark Connecticut State Quarter, a $quarter issued by the United States as part of the famous 50 State Quarters program created by the United States Mint. This historic coin series began in 1999 and continued until 2008, with a different design released for each U.S. state in the order that they joined the Union. The Connecticut Quarter was one of the very first coins issued in this popular program. The coin celebrates the state of Connecticut, which became the 5th state to join the United States on January 9, 1788. Millions of people collected these coins because each design told a unique story about the history, culture, and important landmarks of the state it represented. The reverse side of this quarter shows a famous and historic tree known as the Charter Oak, which became an important symbol of freedom and independence in the early history of Connecticut. According to legend, in 1687, colonists hid the royal charter of Connecticut inside the hollow of this oak tree to prevent it from being taken by the English governor Sir Edmund Andros. The charter allowed the colony to govern itself, and hiding it protected Connecticut's political rights. Because of this brave act, the tree became a powerful symbol of liberty and resistance against control from overseas authorities. Although the original tree fell during a storm in 1856, its story remained deeply rooted in American history, which is why it was chosen for the Connecticut State Quarter design. On the reverse design, you can see the detailed branches of the Charter Oak spreading across the coin, symbolizing strength, history, and growth. Around the design appears the inscription, Connecticut 1788, marking the year the state joined the Union. The phrase, the Charter Oak, is also written near the design, identifying the historic tree, while the national motto, E Pluribus Unum, appears to the right side of the coin. The design was created and sculpted by artists working with the United States Mint to capture the natural appearance and historic importance of the tree. The obverse front of the coin follows the classic Washington Quarter design, which has been used on U.S. quarters since 1932. It features the left-facing portrait of George Washington, the first president of the United States and one of the most respected figures in American history. This portrait was originally designed by the sculptor John Flanagan, inspired by a famous bust of Washington created by Jean-Antoine Hedon in the 18th century. On the obverse, the word liberty appears above Washington's head, while the phrase, "In God We Trust," is placed to the left of the portrait. The year 1999 is shown at the bottom of the coin, and the small p mint mark indicates that the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the main production facilities of the United States Mint. The 1999 Connecticut Quarter was produced in extremely large numbers because the State Quarters program became one of the most successful coin programs in American history. The United States Mint produced hundreds of millions of these coins for circulation, allowing people across the country to collect them directly from pocket change. The coin is made from a copper-nickel-clad composition, consisting of outer layers that are 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to a pure copper core. The coin has a diameter of 24.3 millimeters, a weight of about 5.67 grams, and a reeded edge, which are the standard specifications for modern U.S. quarters. For collectors, the 1999 D-Mint marked Connecticut State Quarter is usually considered a common coin when it is found in circulated condition, and most examples are worth about 25 cents to a few dollars depending on condition. However, coins in uncirculated or mint state condition can be more valuable, especially if they have strong luster and no signs of wear. Some collectors also search for minting errors, such as double dies, off-center strikes, or other unusual variations that can increase the coin's value significantly. Because the State Quarters program inspired millions of new collectors around the world, coins like this remain popular among both beginner and experienced numismatists. Today, the 1999 Connecticut State Quarter is remembered not only as a piece of everyday currency, but also as a small historical tribute to the heritage of Connecticut and the story of the legendary Charter Oak. The coin represents how the United States celebrates its state's traditions and symbols through circulating coinage. Even though millions were produced, it remains an educational and collectible coin that connects people with the early struggles for self-government and the powerful idea of liberty that helped shape the nation. The coin shown in the image is a 2007 Mint mark Idaho State Quarter, a circulating $quarter coin issued by the United States as part of the historic 50 State Quarters program, which was created by the United States Mint to celebrate the heritage, history, and culture of each U.S. state. This special program began in 1999 and continued until 2008, releasing 5 different state designs every year in the order that the states joined the Union. The coin in your image represents the state of Idaho, which became the 43rd state of the United States on July 3, 1890. The Idaho Quarter was released in the year 2007 as part of the final years of the program, and it quickly became popular among collectors because of its striking design and symbolism connected to the natural beauty and wildlife of the state. The reverse side of the 2007 Idaho State Quarter features an impressive portrait of the Peregrine Falcon, a powerful bird of prey known for being the fastest animal on Earth during its hunting dive. The falcon is shown with its head turned upward, giving the coin a dynamic and lifelike appearance. The Peregrine Falcon was chosen for the design because it is an important part of Idaho's wildlife and natural environment. Historically, this bird experienced a major population decline during the mid-20th century due to environmental problems, especially the use of harmful pesticides such as DDT. However, conservation programs later helped restore its population across North America, making the falcon a symbol of successful wildlife recovery and environmental protection. Behind the falcon on the coin, you can see an outline map of the state of Idaho. Inside the map appears a small star marking the location of the state capital, Boise. Above the map is the state motto, Esto Perpetua, which is a Latin phrase meaning, "Let it be perpetual." This motto reflects the hope that Idaho's traditions, freedoms, and natural beauty will continue forever. Around the outer edge of the coin appear the inscriptions, Idaho 1890, marking the year Idaho became a state, and E Pluribus Unum, the national motto of the United States meaning, out of many one. The design successfully combines wildlife, geography, and historical identity into one artistic composition, making it one of the most distinctive coins in the State Quarters series. The obverse side of the coin uses the familiar design from the long-running Washington Quarter series. This side shows the famous left-facing portrait of George Washington, the first president of the United States and one of the most respected leaders in American history. The portrait was originally created by sculptor John Flanagan in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of Washington's birth. Above Washington's head appears the word liberty, representing the central value of American democracy. The phrase, "In God we trust," appears to the left of the portrait, while the year 2007 is written at the bottom. To the right of the date is the P Mint mark, which indicates that this coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the main minting facilities operated by the United States Mint. Like other modern quarters, the 2007 P Idaho State Quarter is made from a copper-nickel-clad composition. The outer layers consist of 75% copper and 25% nickel, while the inner core is made of pure copper. The coin has a diameter of 24.3 millimeters, a weight of about 5.67 grams, and a reeded edge with small ridges around the circumference. These specifications have remained standard for U.S. quarters since 1965, when the United States removed silver from circulating coins due to rising metal prices and economic changes. The United States Mint produced a very large number of the 2007 P Idaho quarters, so they could circulate widely throughout the country. The Philadelphia Mint alone produced hundreds of millions of these coins, making them relatively common in everyday change during the late 2000s. Because of this high mintage, most circulated examples are generally worth about 25 cents to a few dollars depending on condition. However, coins in uncirculated or mint state condition can have higher collector value, particularly if they have strong luster, sharp details, and no visible wear. Collectors also search for unusual mint errors, such as double dies, off-center strikes, or other minting variations, which can significantly increase the coin's value. The 2007 P Idaho State Quarter is not only a piece of currency, but also a small tribute to the natural heritage and history of Idaho. Through its detailed image of the Peregrine Falcon and the outline of the state with the capital Boise, the coin highlights both the wildlife and the geography that make Idaho unique. For collectors and history enthusiasts, coins like this demonstrate how the 50 State Quarters program helped millions of people learn about American states while turning everyday pocket change into small pieces of educational history.